Good morning, this is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Wednesday, the 30th of April. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right, okay, of course, today is the last day of the month. Traditionally, I think this is one of the only days of April which is actually traditionally bearish. It tends to close down 2/3 of the time, and lent bullish yesterday and leans bullish again tomorrow. So it doesn't lean hugely bullish tomorrow, but reasonably bullish. It leans significantly bearish today. Now, this is an opportunity to sort out some negative divergence, and you can see the week's estimate sell signal on ES is getting pretty close to the target. So we just needs to close at this level in 14 minutes, and that is resolved. At the open, there's a pretty good chance the 15-minute sell signals will be resolved or pretty close to it as well. NG, exactly the same. So RTY, seeing a bit of a retrace here, YM as well. I don't think these don't look cooked to me, so I'm not thinking this is the end of the rally. Although I am a little concerned looking at ZB and CL. And I'll come to that. All right, DAX and STX, both of these have sell signals as well. Not really seeing the same kind of reaction from those. The Europeans have been far stronger, as they have been for pretty much all year so far. We'll see how it goes. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. Okay, on SPX, I was looking at these weak RSI 14 sell signals on the 15-minute chart yesterday. This one's made the possible near miss target on the RSI 5, but it's the RSI 14 one I'm thinking may well get sorted out this morning. I'm still liking the upside here. I was putting in the distance to the pattern resistance trend lines yesterday afternoon when I did my post, so we will see how that goes today. But I'm leaning towards downside today, and then likely up for another 2 or 3 days at least to go off and get these trend lines. That's working. It's only a working assumption. Obviously, this rally could fail at any time, but I think it's a decent working assumption. Looking at exactly the same morning Q, Dyer hasn't actually made a new high for the rally yet, but it's getting very close. We've already passed. I did say that if we were going to see these trend lines as they crossed, then that was going to happen on Tuesday, and we didn't see it. I'm looking at these. We've now got 2 resistance trend lines here, and they're separating. All right, looking at Ethereum. Oh, in terms of back test targets here, I would note that if we see a fairly strong retracement, we've got the daily middle band at 53.90, and we could. That's a long way away. I'm not necessarily thinking we could make that, but that would be in the event that we saw a strong pullback today, that actually could give us some positive divergence at the lows if we got it. Then that would be a very obvious target to get back to there. An alternative is to backtest this broken declining resistance trend line. All right, let's have a look at the IWM chart, where looking again pretty much the same. We made a new rally high yesterday. We've made new rally highs on everything except Dyer so far. So I'm still liking the upside, and this is a pretty good setup for a bear flag. Now, one thing I wanted to mention was that, am I still leaning towards this being a bear flag if I'm thinking the wind is changing here? Yes, I am. Because what I'm leaning towards happening is we form a bear flag, and then we retest this low, and then we see whether or not we're going to go lower. So that would be, because if we're going to go back and retest the high, or retest the low first, gets up pretty nice looking double bottoms across the board. I'm skeptical about going back and retesting the high straight away. We're still in a lot of turmoil, but potentially if the trade war with China ends, who can say? We shall see how it goes. All right, let's have a look at DX, where we've got a possible RHS forming here. I've drawn in the neckline, and I am wondering about it. That's got some support actually from USD/JPY, which also has a possible RHS forming, although it's larger and better formed. So I am still wondering about that rally. If we look at ZB actually went higher, got up to the monthly pivot, and is doing a bit of a rejection there. But I want to show you that on the TNX chart. On the TNX chart, I drew in, I don't think I'd posted this anyway yet, but when we went through this trend, the nice flag support trend line here, I drew in this as the obvious alternative. And we've got down to that, we've overshot it slightly, and we've rejected back up. This may well be the flag. Now, this is a mild concern because if we're going to be breaking up from this and heading up at speed, then the question is, what's equities going to be doing at the same time? Because I've kind of been thinking this flag would be forming at the same time as equities, but we will see. CL, of course, is also broken down from this double top here, and we've also got that breakdown on HO, where I've drawn in this line here. Not, a similar sort of setup, but not exactly the same, but similar. It's this has got a target down in the 57.5 area. And may well take us down into the retest of the low. But the key area here is this area here at 58.2. If we get down beyond that, then the CL head and shoulder, inverted head and shoulders will be invalidated, and we'll have a target back at the low. NG, seen a nice little rally here with pausing at the moment. No current negative divergence, but I am thinking this is showing some signs of life, and we could be forming an IHS here. On GC is still making a decision here. We broke down from this pretty decent looking head and shoulders a few days ago, and it's been chopping around without making a break in either direction ever since. Watching to see if we make that break today. We do have a potential downside target down here in about the 31.15 area if it can get going. On SI, this is looking less like a bull flag forming and more like a possible head and shoulders forming. Ideally, we'd be forming a right shoulders here, but this could set up a little head and shoulders, which on a subsequent break below about 32.4, 33.3 would be looking for a target in about the 30.5 area, I guess. Looking at palladium. Still wondering about reaching this head and shoulder target, which is down here in the 905 area. On platinum, could be making a short-term high, not a lot to suggest that. And HG, we've seen a rejection here. This is going down fairly hard with equities. Again, I'm wondering about this possibly going higher, but it could be that this rally has finished and doesn't really look exactly like a bear flag. It's a little strong for that. But I am wondering about a decent retracement here. And so far, we've actually already seen a 50 back pretty much overnight. All right, let's have a look at KC. KC, I was talking about the possibility that when we made it back to this high here, then we might be making the second high of a pretty significant double top. Just because KC is very stretched by historical standards doesn't mean it's got to happen now, but so far we've seen a bit of a rejection there, and I'm wondering about a possible head and shoulder pattern forming. I've also got a pretty decent looking rising megaphone here, and the next obvious target within the megaphone would be megaphone support currently in the 395 area. If that breaks down, well, that could take us down to the next level. SB, still wondering about a retest of this low. This looks like a flag that has broken down. On CC, we made it up to double bottom resistance. We broke up slightly, and so far we're rejecting. We've got a little double top here, which has broken down. So we've got a little inflection point here, but we could just head straight back to the lows, which wouldn't be altogether surprising. CC is also looking a little stretched by historical standards. On ZW, we've gone lower. Still got a potential level bottom here, but I'd like to see this turn. We've got a weak 60-minute buy signal that's fixed. And on corn, which no longer looks like a bull flag, we've also got a weak 60-minute buy signal fixed. Isn't necessarily going to deliver a lot in either case. Soy could still be topping action here. Bit surprised soy has been as strong as it has been, to be honest. On cotton, we had a nice looking little level top, made target, and we've now got a 60-minute buy signal fixed. Bouncing at the monthly pivot, although I don't really take much notice of the monthly pivot at this stage, because of course tomorrow we've got all the monthly pivots. So we'll see. Lumber, we've got potential level bottom here, but I'm leaning lower. On live cattle, no current divergence. At the moment, it's continuing to the upside, and may well just continue to go to the upside. Lean hogs, I'm wondering about a double top here, and we've got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed, although that's getting pretty close to the target now. So watching to see if we see a breakdown from this double top, I'd be looking for a target at about the 95.6 area. On soybean oil, Little bit of positive divergence, but not a lot. Looks like a bull flag forming at the moment. And on heating oil, we've broken down from this little double top, and we're waiting to see which way that will go. All right, great. Okay, do we have any questions today? Just having a quick look. No, I don't think we do. In that case, should be an interesting day, guys. I'm thinking it's possible that we've actually seen the top of the rally here. I think it's unlikely. I don't think this pattern setup looks at all finished. And generally speaking, that means we've got more further to go in the obvious direction, which is up. But this retracement should sort out the negative divergence we've got here, and we've got negative stats for today. So we'll see how that goes today. But I'm thinking we sort out the negative divergence today, and then we do another leg up, which ideally gets us up to our trendline targets on flags. We'll see. All right, brilliant. In that case, everyone take care. I will catch you guys again tomorrow.